Hello everyone, Solomon here. It's Sunday, March 17th. And here's the landscape. I'm changing things up by crossing over to this other park in the woods. And to get away from it all away from the glitz and the glamour and the whatever. And to have a drink. Here's something I put my can on. There you go. And we're just gonna have a drink here because it's Sunday and no one does anything. Oh yes, happy St. Patrick's Day. Ooh. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Woo. Maybe it's a little bit too early for this. But yeah, this is what happens when you're single and avoiding everyone. You just do your own thing. I'm approaching 40 years old and there's not a wrinkle on my face because I've been single my whole life. There aren't any apparent grays or whatever, just because, again, I've been single my whole life. Purposefully, I don't like drama. You know, just the mere sight of a woman screaming at you, telling you what to do 24/7 is a turn-off for me, and that's what they do. It's hard to get out of, considering that rent prices are so high these days. $2,500. You're paying that much, an entire paycheck, and you may have some left for some breadcrumbs just to get away from some kind of angry, crazy, family woman figure. And that's normally what it is. So I'm well aware what I gotta do, and that is to make money. Any way I turn into the world was either about money or some kind of woman, and it's just like shit. I have it fortunate, but when I look at other people, are even operating on less resources, there's probably a lot more of those kinds of people. What do they have to do to survive? So I know what I gotta do. I gotta keep working, doing overtime and everything. Keep drinking more. These two little dogs are trying to sniff my butt, but they ran away. This camera can't pick them up. Anyways, yeah, I'm cornered. I don't know how Elon Musk does it. How he has like several different wives and all these like child support notices and different children, but on top of the fact that he's autistically good, sharp at higher maths, of course, and engineering, physics, and all that, and rocket science, and yet he also has multiple women in his life, and I can guarantee you, he's been probably sued, multiple times for women things, women's rights, women at the workplace, sexual harassment, and it's just like shit. Can't get away from it. And it's just like, you ask the question, okay, how would you like to be treated? Like a princess. Okay, you're a princess. And then it's just like, I want to go to work. Alright, you're at work. And then, you get all these sexual harassment suits and all these charges, and just like, I don't get it. No one gets it. So at the end of the day, it's always about girls and money. You know, why aren't women flocking here to the forest? It's because there's no money involved. So you cut the money out, replace it with nature, and that's it. There's not going to be any beautiful women around, which there inherently are not in the forest or in wildlife in general. There just aren't, because there's no money involved. That's how bad the situation is. So, you know, you'll have a whole hub, a whole dynamic of, you know, gold diggers in the cities of New York and Los Angeles and wherever, California, Hollywood, you know, that's a thing. That's where the money is at, or wherever it is. Maybe Silicon Valley, where, you know. What about in the wilderness? It's just like, no. Beautiful women do not just walk around in dresses in the wilderness. I mean, it's just not a thing. Sorry, this is how it is, you know. It's just the game by Neil Strauss, or however you want to look at it. So this is an interesting path, less traveled by. So it's about springtime, very early spring. There's nothing that I do these days, knowing how it is, you know. This is it, you know. If I was 10 years old, 12 years old, 15, 18, you know, what would I be doing 10 years, 20 years later? This is it, you know. It didn't change. It's just, you know, the inflation went up, so things just went up, you know. So my old dreams, whatever it was, is just super motherfucking expensive now. And, you know, the job I had, same thing, inflation, blah, 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 blah. Not much has changed, you know. People just got older and creepier. Maybe a little zero at the end of your bank account, but that's about it. It's the same infrastructure. It's the same, you know, game. Except everything's, you know, post-apocalyptic COVID, inflation, price gouging, and all this economics things, and, you know, grifts and scams and shit. It's just like the content has always been the same, you know. I don't know. There's nothing new under the sun. Maybe the Amish were right. You just fucking do work and, you know, build a home for yourself and just toil the earth and just stay away from modern society and just do your fucking shit, your old school shit, and that's it. That's what you call life. You don't want to overcomplicate things. You don't want to, you know, soil yourself. I don't know. This is how I spent my Sunday, you know. I always think about money and what it can do for me, and, you know, like I said, not much really, you know. I think they interviewed Mr. Beast about this topic as well. What did he do after he bought his $1 million Maserati or whatever? He said he bought it. It was millions of dollars or whatever, and he didn't really enjoy it. He didn't have a practical use for it. He didn't really love it all that much, and then he just sold it. And it's just like, I don't get it. It was useless to him. You know, it's just like buying buying these woods. I mean, like, what is the difference between you having ownership of these woods and somebody else? Not much, really. I mean, are you gonna put a house here? Are you gonna live here? Not really. No one fucking lives here, so I don't know, like, what someone, would be wanting to own this property for. There's nothing really going on. There's nothing fun here. There's nothing you can extrapolate for resources other than the trees and, or whatever. There's nothing really like that cool. There's no like precious gemstones or whatever. There's some boring old, trees. I don't know. Maybe you can tap into the nature and it excites you and whatever. But as for me, I really don't give two shites. And I don't know. I gotta go find my life. This is it. Or maybe this is it. This is it. Like, much like in prison, you only get an hour outside and then you go back in, and the whole shitstorm just repeats itself. Next month I signed up for all the overtime, even double shifts, and my mom started freaking out on me. And I told her, I don't want to be at home. Because I don't, she's Chinese, and, she's very picky and fussy, and it's just like everything's an issue. The food is an issue, this is an issue, that is an issue. Oh my God, everything's, what time you have to sleep's an issue. The fact that you left the house is an issue, everything's a fucking issue. And I'm just like, you know what, fuck this shit. I'm just gonna get out of here. And so I'm the asshole, I'm the asshole making money. And that's it, I didn't want to hear about this, like, family shit. I mean, yes, I'm an asshole. Now it's clear as day to me, about the assholery going on with men. They don't want to be in the house. They don't want to be in the house, They don't want to be in the house because the woman is there and she's probably one of those, like, kind of like Patty and Selma on in The Simpsons. Just these women, undesirable women, or they turn into that. And it's just like, this isn't the shit I ordered. No, you weren't supposed to get old and fat and like grumpy. It's just like, ugh, But that's what happens. She's not sexy anymore. She's fat, she's old, whatever the fuck. And you're just like, yeah, fuck this. And then you just leave. And then one day you just fucking leave and you just start going to work and doing your own thing. And then you find out that the woman came to work with you, and there were, and it's just like, now there's like sexual harassment lawsuits and whatever. It's just like, if you build a company and your reputation, then the women follow, which is only natural, because they're not going to go, establish something themselves for the vast majority of the time, because it's just too fucking hard for anyone, male or female. And then it's just like, so they're gonna bum off everyone else's business, like what I'm doing. Go to Google or Microsoft or at the hospital or in the offices, male dominated boys clubs, whatever. It's because they established it, and then here you are trying to bum off everything and sue everyone for sexual harassment so you can get the easy way out. And that's what normally happens. I'm just like, shit. It's hard for anyone to establish and operate and run their own company, let alone be a woman and do it, because it just requires too much discipline. And when you have things like maternity leave and whatever the fuck, and child care and shit, and dates to go on, you can't be doing that shit. And that's exactly what women be complaining about. I have this 9 to 5 job. I can't even go on dates. You just want it all, don't you? Like, you want to be corporate boss girl, CEO of your own company. Have all these customers and clients look at you as though you're God. And then and then you complain, and then you fucking complain how you can't go out on dates with boys and stuff. No, it's sacrifice. It's like me complaining about why I'm not like corporate general in the army or whatever. It's because I didn't do shit, so I can't be complaining about it. But women be like, I'm gonna complain about it because I don't have everything, because I'm not feeding my greed monster correctly. I don't have the boyfriend. I don't have Chad. I don't have the 6-figure income. I don't have Chad making millions of dollars for me. I didn't marry the right man. He's not 6 feet tall. Plus, he's not making millions of dollars. When does this shit end? It doesn't end. It's just a demon. It's just the greed monster, the fame monster, the lust monster, whatever you want to call it. This kind of shit doesn't stop. This kind of shit does not stop. Life is suffering. And, people are constantly inhabited by these demons. And I'm not the demon controller. I'm not the demon tamer. I just identify them. And, if you just lowered your standard of living, you wouldn't have to be feeding these bitches, these demons and these control systems and these desires of yours. But no. You enter this world greedy, bratty, bitchy, complaining all the time, and you expect everything. You expect your boyfriend or husband or whatever to make all this money, rain money for you. You expect everyone to be putting you on a pedestal. It's just like, shit. Not like boys don't experience this too, but it's much worse if you're a girl because you're a princess, the princess model, because, your daddy's little princess or whatever the fuck, and you don't, shit, you expect everything for doing nothing. You expect everything, but fucking do nothing, put absolutely zero effort into everything, and expect the most. Is life fair? No. And sometimes, you do get that person who gets everything. The scammer, the grifter, maybe someone was just genetically born prettier and, all this sexier and all this stuff, and their OnlyFans works out, their porn site works out, whatever it is, they're a hit. That's just the luck of the draw. Sometimes it does work out. So April. This is mid-March. Is my life gonna change? Nope. Every season, you just get spring, winter, fall, winter, spring, summer, fall. It's just a cycle. Every year I just come back thinking that things would change, and is that that's what it's about? No, and no. It's about appreciation, having gratitude. You can't satisfy these demons unless you appreciate what you have already. And as people, especially in America, people are just trained, or their minds are just hijacked by the media, by commercials and marketing and branding and public relations and degenerative stuff and dopamine dealers. And it's just probably a lot harder for younger people to understand what hard work is anymore, and what it means just to turn off the computer and your cell phone and just fucking work. And so I guess a large part of the population of young people is just surfing the internet or whatever, getting high on dopamine fixes, and just like, shit. Young people are screwed. You know, you just don't have this serenity, the sacredness of life anymore. Instead, you have this withdrawal symptoms that you're not playing your favorite video game. You don't have a controller in your hand. You don't have your cell phone around. You know, you're not making money off of Bitcoin stuff and NFTs and, you know, YOLOing and GameStop and Bed Bath & Beyond stocks. You know, I mean, damn. I mean, the weekend should be reserved for going out in nature, going outside in general. But you probably won't see that much anymore. As I said, the digital media is just overwhelming people, if not already. And so you get a lot of Karens, you know, you get a lot of Karens and shit. And you're like, what happened? The Karen apocalypse, you know. You have people cooped up in their house too long, you know, just mindlessly feeding off these dopamine dealers without ever connecting to nature and stuff. And it's an individual effort. And you have to willingly be doing this, or you'll be on your cell phone addicted to some social media site or whatever, like crack cocaine. There's actually a man walking with a cell phone right now doing that shit. And that's right. And I don't want to be right. I don't want to be right. I know that Ukraine just launched a drone attack on Russia, and ever since Warren Buffett's son, his brother, his son, gave him like $500 million, and yeah, it was bound to happen. You know. I can care less if Russia or Ukraine, you know, either way, people are gonna die. No one's gonna be winning anything. It's just war. People just die. It's not my business, but that's what's happening. Anyways, how the hell does Solomon Chau improve his life? Or is there even anything? Or do you have to buy anything to improve your life? I will answer this question right now. You know, 99% of the time, you do not have to fucking buy anything. It's more about how you control your emotions, how you tap into your good feelings and thoughts, appreciation, gratitude. Some people have the gratitude appreciation journal, stuff like that. And you just have to say what you're thankful for. I'm thankful for being present today in the park. I'm thankful for not having to spend money. I'm thankful for not, you know, paying for rent. You know. And I'm thankful for having the opportunity where I do get to save up my money and invest in stocks and ETFs and mutual funds and stuff like that. And grow my money the slow way instead of having to be a day trader where it can be very risky and full of pressure. That's what I'm thankful for. Other people may be thankful for having their parents alive. I don't know. Whatever it is. And, so yes. So did I have to spend money? No. I mean, is it painful not spending money? For me it is, yes. It's just painful, you know, being so cheap. But that's how you make money. You know. Plus I'm learning how not to be all in on instant gratification. You know. But that's it. Uh, Warren Buffett himself, if you read his articles and everything, he does not spend a dime. The only time when he spends money is for friends and family, and otherwise he drives the same fucking old car. He does the same stock research stuff that he does. These things, anyone can just go to the library and get it for free. And that's what he does. I think there's been an episode where he just goes to McDonald's and gets an egg McMuffin and a coffee or whatever and a Coke, and that's all you needed. I mean, it's hard to believe that he goes to McDonald's or Dairy Queen. He'd fucking have diabetes and by now if he did so much. But yeah, other rich people, what they would do is just have their fucking kids, work at a job in the summer. See what working is like. And as lay people, we have all these misconceptions that rich people have it easier, that they have some kind of magical cheat code. No, they do everything the same thing as everyone else. They just have like more stock options and all this stuff. And behind the scenes, on paper, that they're rolling the money in. But in reality, they're living the same lives as most people. And there's like numerous articles about this. Super rich people are also motherfucking cheap as all fucking hell. They just are, and that's just how it is. One way to reset your limitations on life is to just go out running until you feel all burnt out. That's how you reset your humility, your ego. That tells your body, oh, I can get my ass kicked. I can get my ass whooped. Running up hills, doing all these crazy exercises outside. Or doing whatever. And that's what you gotta do to rewire your brain and your dopamine receptors and stuff. I don't know what the fuck is this. Oh well, I'm just gonna finish walking up this thing and taking a leak in the back here. That concludes the entire park. A bunch of nothingness. And probably gonna just walk this off, go to the gym, finish my day, and then go to work at 11. There's really no other point to this venture of mine except sustainable dopamine levels, not burning my dopamine receptors, and just sustainable living. And that's how it is. I don't know how to cure everyone. I'm even having a hard time myself, just trying to stay balanced, not having to overindulge on electronics and social media and all this stuff. I'm just trying to stay sane. And wow, there's a lot of dogs going on. I wasn't expecting that, but yeah, it's all about sustainable living. And one day I will be spending money for real for, taking my own place. And yeah, what would I be doing alone? And this is it. I don't do much. Taking walks, probably cooking, and not giving a fuck. And doing the same things, except spending a lot of my money on housing. Whereas before I would just have invested in the stock market. Now I'm just spending it on housing. And just being able to do my own thing, which is not much, which is probably just working anyways and going to the strip club. And, that would probably be it. So, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.